Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. It's me, Antonio, Black Tonio, Mr. Morningstar himself, back with another video today. I actually just woke up probably not even an hour ago. Yeah, living in a different time zone, different world. Living in a trance still. But yeah, hopefully you guys have been enjoying your week. Hopefully everybody's safe. Hopefully everybody's doing well, staying busy, making love and making money, right? The two most important things, or the two most important currencies that people value on this planet. So I really wanted to talk to you guys today. I woke up today and something that I really don't get into, Bitcoin. I watch Bitcoin. And I watch stocks. I don't want to lead you guys, and this is going to be another money conversation. I don't want to lead you guys into believing that I'm a heavy investor, that I have like 20-30,000 sitting in the damn stock market or in Bitcoin. I actually invested some this morning, something that I rarely do. I dropped, I saw Bitcoin actually. I was waiting on it to cross 50,000, and I woke up late, of course, and it crossed 50,000. All right, it crossed 55,000. So congratulations to anybody that got in on Bitcoin last year before it jumped 55%. And it's still going up slowly but surely. It never hurts to drop $20-$30 into stocks and Bitcoin every now and then. As a long-term investor, day traders and short-term investors, you gotta watch your back. Especially what's going on with the Bitcoin and the stocks. People are starting to understand that the market can be heavily manipulated by different companies. Common sense things that I actually knew 5 years ago when I actually started watching stocks. It's just so funny to me how people are not able to see the future coming, or are not able to see different trends coming. Some are not able to take advantage of these different opportunities, because in order to actually make a lot of money, if you're not doing a 10-year, 20, 30-year long-term investing, which is sort of like a retirement plan, kind of like when you get a job and they want you to put money into their things, and they match you, and they want you to work for the company for 30 years, but you can't touch the money. That's actually what they do. They have the semi-smart office specialist pick stocks for you. And we all know that monkeys can pick stocks, so why pay someone to do it? I guess the benefits would be matching, but again, you can't even take money out of your retirement. Anytime you take money out of a retirement savings, they tax you. So it's not good to do that. So why don't you? You don't even have to open up an LLC or any type of business. Just read a book or watch a couple, YouTube videos, and you should be able to at least get the bare basics of how one should invest. You want to either invest in things that you partake in, like me myself. I invest heavily in marijuana stocks. Again, a $500 billion industry that's going to jump to a $2 trillion industry within the next 2 to 5 years, maybe even sooner than that. The medical industry, cleaning supplies and things like that, has skyrocketed over the past year. The more and more these corona strains come out, and the more and more different vaccines that they come out, these small medical companies, these places, they're going to skyrocket as well. Of course, anything related to technology, sales, building a business, things like that. Amazon, Overstock, Alibaba, these types of places, these big wholesale retailers. Again, that's it's gonna be a wave. People are at home. shopping, and at home buying office supplies and starting businesses. So these companies are getting an influx of money, so the stock's going to go up. So it's just easy as, you know, as long as you put your mind to it, to be able to predict certain habits, certain behaviors of people's, places, and things. When you see 1 million people running towards one direction, that's when you run the opposite direction. Everyone wants to tell you not to judge them. Run the opposite direction and judge their ass, so that you can help them better themselves. People say everyone want to say don't judge me. No, judge me so I can know what I need to get better at. That was the whole point of school. That's the whole point of work, money. That's the whole point of your health, hospital. They tell you what's wrong so that you can fix it. And of course, work is good karma when you doing work the right way. Take for instance, if you work a 9-to-5 job, you're going out and you're putting in sweat equity. You're working, you're building your good karma. Therefore, you will get paid in 2 weeks, right? Or whenever you get paid, you might get paid salary or what have you. So that's naturally building good karma. Not sitting home on a couch all day hoping that you're gonna magically have the world drop into your hands. No, you build that karma by going out and get a job, helping people, because that's what work is usually about. Helping people. Even when you work for yourself, you're helping yourself. You're building good karma. That karma is supposed to come back around to you. But yeah, video's getting a little lengthy, so I'm not sure where I left off at. But yeah, make sure that you at least take part in some kind of game, even stocks, or even gambling, even the casino, even Bitcoin. I said gambling is like the grown-ups Disney World. It's like the grown-ups playground sandbox. So, you know, everyone wants to be grown, although they're still growing. You know, do the things now in the future. Do the things now in the past to help you take big steps in the future. We have parents that's 50 years old that's, you know, still making bad decisions and things like that. When you have to look at them and be like, bro, like, I can't do nothing for you, man. Because then your tower falls at the end of the day. But the other thing I wanted to talk about was work. Since this is about money, I knew I talked to you guys about you know, my upbringing and things like that, like my school. And I talked to you guys a little bit about making money. So in regards to like my work foundation, of course I always had chores and things like that. By the time I had my my surgery, and so water out here, and it's sprinkling a little bit. But by the time I was told I shouldn't go back to school and that I have to take all these pills every day and I'll never be able to have kids and all these things like that, after my second year seniorship, which I enjoyed very much, most of the underclassmen actually thought I was an underclassman, even though I should have already graduated. That's the crazy part, because everyone in my class had already graduated. So, you know, with me being a second year senior, it was like an interesting experience. I was able to make more friends and get more experiences, you know. Imagine high school being 5 years, a 13th grade instead of a damn college. A 13th grade to actually teach you the things that you're going to need to learn and to use in actual everyday life. But as far as working, very first job was working at Walgreens. I applied to one of their retail stores in my area. Unfortunately, they hired me outside of my city. So here I am, 19 years old, had to travel outside of my city to another city to get to work every day. You know, no car, bus every day. Didn't really last too long at 19, really, to be honest with you. My first job, being paid $7. I don't even think it was $7.50. I think it was $7 an hour. And then even the worst part about that, I remember getting home and I was with my friend too, so this is kind of like embarrassing, but I kind of like had to stand my ground. Of course, my mom was upset for this. Like, I have got my first paycheck. I haven't even looked at it yet, opened it yet. I don't even know how much money I made. I haven't even been in the house 60 seconds and my mom was already asking me like for money and stuff like that. I'm like, wow, this lady cursed me out every chance she get in regards to whatever she want to curse me out about. And she had the nerve to ask me for money from my very first check that I ever worked hard for. Then get mad at me when I tell her like that's crazy. But that was my first job, and I think after that I worked at a car shop. Very hazardous to my health. Spent a number of years having to deal with that thing, but that was more life experiences, more work experiences. So after that whole thing and getting germed out, I don't think I worked again for another 3 to 4 years. I think my next job I would have at 23, 24 years old, working for a call center. Call center, working for Motorola, tech support. This is right after I finished college. After I worked at Walgreens, I moved out of my mom's place. Look, it's traffic everywhere. It's IHOP. We actually got school buses. We actually got America right here. Should go in there and try to get a business loan, right? But yep. Worked for Motorola. I think I was about 23 or 24 years old. I mean, at this point, I had already moved. I had already been out of my mom's house for a number of years, and was experiencing life in my own limited kind of way. Even though I was supposed to be limited in a lot of things, still taking all of this medication that's supposed to be helping my body, but actually limiting me. To the point where it's like I couldn't even go outside. I had one medication that was supposed to lower my immune system so that my immune system wouldn't attack my liver. Another medication, since my immune system was low, to help ward off germs and bacteria. But that medication would make my skin weak to the sunlight, so I couldn't go outside. Then I had medication that's supposed to help my kidneys, but it breaks my lungs and breaks everything else. So it's so funny how medicine works. If you have one pill that's supposed to fix one thing but break 3 other things in your body, imagine going through a liver transplant and having to take 20 to 30 different medications that all do something different to your body. But they want to continue to try to convince you that you need to take these medications for the rest of your life and spend money on them. So you never know what happens to people, or never really judge a book by its cover. I'd rather smoke marijuana, untampered with earth. Of course, some of it is manufactured nowadays, but I'd rather spend $50 on marijuana every week and relieve myself from all these horrible symptoms that most people wouldn't even be able to deal with. I look like I'm not, I'm not experiencing any pain right now. I look like I'm just living life right now, but every day I have to deal with something. So I'd rather do that than spend $20,000 on medication that I can't afford and that's probably gonna kill me anyway. So never judge. Never. This guy just smokes weed all the time. I don't have an appetite. There's different things that goes on in my body that I don't have to explain to anyone, really, to be honest with you. But again, you never know people's situations, and then a lot of you need to be on marijuana as well while you guys around here. Like, and why would you put a kid on ADHD medication or Ritalin? Give the kid a little bit of marijuana tea. Jesus Christ. But back to finance and making money. So I worked at Motorola when I was about 23, 24 years old. That job was actually about $10 an hour. Not too bad for a 23-year-old, I guess. doing tech support. So, you know, I'm technically savvy. I know how to fix cell phones and things like that, physically and electronically. There's different apps and things that these companies use that allow people to take control of, you know, that allow us as the tech support or customer service agent to take control of your phone, go through all your, you know, all your pictures, all your videos, all your apps, go through your entire phone, your call log, and you don't even have to do nothing but just sit your phone right there on the table while I'm 3 states, 4 states away, logging into your phone and just going through your whole entire device. And then this was like 10 years ago. So imagine the type of technology that they have now. So that job was okay. I probably worked that job for about 10 months. Surprisingly, it was a long time. I was able to purchase my first car and do a tour around America. I'll tell you guys about that someday, buying a friggin' used car and just saying to hell with it and touring the country for 3-4 days straight, non-stop. And after I got back home, I actually, what did I do when I got back home? It was more call centers. Like every year, it was a new call center. That's how it is. These are known as revolving accounts. These are known as jobs that predominantly black women take. And you know, you get hired, you get fired. You get hired, you get fired. And they try to act like it's because of you, but it's really because these accounts are crappy accounts. You know, you're doing collection sales for AT&T. Nobody wants to pay their bills. Everybody is doing signing up for the health accounts, but nobody has money to pay for health insurance and things like that. So that's why we have to watch these different things that we're doing. But that's just life. Because there's traffic everywhere. But no, that's just how life works. Next, what was the next job I had? I can't even remember. These was mostly all call center jobs. I remember it getting to a point to where you know, my health was affecting me so much because I wasn't supposed to be out in public. You know, I'm touching doors and phones and dapping people up and breathing the air that other people breathe and all these things that my body was still getting used to, even at 5-6 years later after having my surgery. It just got to a point to where I was not working. I had sold my car and I was just like, bro, like, I can't live my life like this. I can't live my life. I want a wife. I want a house. I want children. I want money in the bank. I want everything everybody else wants. So why am I limiting myself to, why am I limiting my potential? Staying in the house constantly, having health issues. The government, so-called, is sending me this money that's supposed to help sustain me. Like if I started at 18 years old, what are you supposed? You think I'm gonna collect a disability check for the next 50 years? Like, you think that's how I want to live my life? And again, it's all an experiment, because when I had my surgery, they used an experimental medication on me. But again, it got to the point in my mid 20s. I was like 26 or 27 years old, and I think when I was 26, I met my kid's mother at one of these call centers. We didn't date at the time. We probably dated a year later. So I think we got together when I was like 27, going on 28. But yeah, I was thinking, man, I want to have the life, the American dream. So I stopped taking my medication, which everyone was against. And ever since then, I've been feeling peachy. Like peachy. I don't break out in hives anymore. I don't have sporadic pains. I'm not crapping out water all the time. And it's just overall, better feeling, better situation. Yeah. Just smoke a lot of marijuana now. Try not to drink as much, One of the liver's biggest weaknesses is alcohol. But yeah, man, after I was like, man, I want my own things in life. I decided to ditch these low-paying jobs. I actually worked for a party company that actually, it was like this party over, and it's this company out in Boca Raton. They actually closed down now due to the pandemic, but they thrived for years. It's this place called Party Perfect that they used to create all types of centerpieces, like Disney centerpieces and things like that. Whatever you could think of, cartoon centerpieces. They used to just basically throw huge $50,000, $100,000 parties for rich people in Boca Raton, Florida, which is like, if not the richest, the second richest place after Florida. A lot of development, a lot of high business people. They like to, this is their version of going to the club. they shit custom, so they would call us to bring 300, 400, 500 chairs, 50 tables, 500 dozen roses, 50 centerpieces, whatever the case may be. It can be a 12-year-old, it could be a rich white boy named Jake, and they'll have us make 100 pairs of shoes and call it Jake Jordan. We're just throwing a $100,000 or $150,000 party for this 12-year-old. And then that's the crazy part. They would throw these parties in churches, and that's the thing about Jewish people. They don't care. They would throw these parties in temple, like straight drinking wine, vodka, brown liquor in temple. I was like, wow, my culture doesn't do things like this. They don't even want us to drink at all. Although Christ was able to turn water into wine. But yeah, man, those Jewish people, they be partying it up, man, like for real. And that was under the table money. I was getting paid $500 a week. Extra little money on Saturdays when they would keep us out past 2 in the morning, because these Jewish people would party to the break of dawn, like for real. And then after that, we would have to take all of the centerpieces, 2 or 3 trucks, take them back to the the storage and things like that. And after that job, after I got pretty much tired of doing that job for about 3 or 4 months, it's probably when I actually got my first good job. Probably the longest job I ever had. I worked for Medicare and Medicaid, their vision department that helps people get their eyes checked out, find glasses and contacts and everything. I was actually working under doctors, actually working with doctors, correcting their work, doing more work than them. Like, I remember they had this writer come in. This is before I accepted my title as a writer. They used to have writers come in every now and then to try to encourage us to work harder or what have you, or whatever the case may be. Pretty good job. Used to give us like $100 a month for health. So I used to just take that $100 and buy me a new pair of Air Force Ones every month. Totally free. But yeah, I mean, when I first started working, there was a temp position. I was making $11, and then it took them a year to hire me, some racist shit, in order to get my $5 raise. So I ended up working at that place for the first year for $11, but I ended up working up there an additional 2 years for $16. And at 27, 28, I thought that was pretty decent money, and I felt my dream was becoming true, so I decided to have my first child, get my own place. Get my own place, because I was roommating up to then. I had never had my own place. Got a car, so things started to come together for the most part. And hold on a second. But interesting times. I'm in the corner store now. Interesting times. The thing with that is that my lady had been home so long that she didn't want to be home anymore. She had to carry the baby for 9 months, and she's a Capricorn, so she's used to work, the hardest working sign in the astrology. So that was that. So I decided to stay home with my children and raise my children. Plus the job was although it was a good job, it was pretty annoying. I'll probably explain more aspects of that job later. Yeah, man. I had to scratch off. Yeah, a good day inside the corner store. The only guy in the corner store with no mask on, you know. That's it. It's this. All right, man. Be safe. Let me get a black and mild. So back to the storytelling. I guess this is probably gonna. Oh no! It is raining out this biz night. Y'all know the rain is my kryptonite. I'm melting. So yeah, it was good working for Medicare and Medicaid for 3 years. I got a lot of administrative assistance. Although I was a perfectionist, I was very smart, and I was extremely capable before that job. I think that job kind of boosted my potential more, just a little bit, because instead of working in a call center job, which is predominantly bullshit job, bullshit pay, just everything, I was able to learn how things work in a small office. I was able to learn how things work, and this is actually this place is actually in magazines a lot, and we used to always have to do photo shoots, because every year this company, it's Medicare, Medicaid, it's the medical industry, legit doctors, credentialized. They were constantly in the Florida's top 50 or top 100 growing companies. So we would always get free stuff, free photo shoots. It was just an overall good experience. Even though I was working around a bunch of white folks, it was an overall good experience. Until that job was over. And then after that, it was back to more call centers jobs, but more on the high end. Things that I felt that I could actually tolerate, until I couldn't actually tolerate them anymore. I worked with Hard Rock, which was pretty good, until I actually found a phone on my way to work today. I found the phone on my way to work one day, and I got to work and didn't even turn the phone off, and of course I got in trouble for it, so they let me go. No biggie, you know, jobs are easy to find for somebody like me. I didn't do nothing but work a whole bunch of overtime at that job anyway, so by the time they let me go, that was just a bunch of checks that I was collecting. There's a lot of different jobs I've worked up until recently. I think I had maybe about 9 years of customer service, tech support, sales, just all types of customer service experience. That's something that I always excelled at, something that I always knew I wanted to do, is help people, customer service, good karma. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that there's some small things that I left out. Again, worked on a corporate plantation for about 9 years. Last year was my last year. Early last year, or late 2019, I applied for a few jobs, and what do you know, the government census contacted me at the end of December, and got everything, passed the drug test, passed the background screen, and which of course was, I don't even have to say that, because I'm not crazy and I'm not out here doing all types of drugs. But yeah, it was a decent job. I wasn't sure I was going to get the job or not, because it was like 500, 600, 700 people apply for the job. I mean, it's the census. The census comes around once every 10 years. They started taking a census back in, I believe, 1810, I believe. I mean, I may be mistaken. But yeah, they take the census once every 10 years. So They have to hire a bunch of people to count all the people in the country to decide where they're going to divvy up governmental funds to different groups, different areas, different races. So that's where, when they say vote, that's why they want you to vote, so that you can take part and get some of the resources that they're trying to allocate to some of the people out there. So that's why I encourage you to vote. But yeah, so I've worked for the government census for about, let's see, January on up to, I think, late July. So a little over 7 months. Was a great job. We were supposed to be getting paid $18.90, but they boosted the pay to $24 an hour. So at that point, that was like the best job I ever had. You feel me? Still making money off of that job right now. Yeah, pretty good experience. And the funny part is, it wasn't even one of the hardest jobs I ever had to do. It's really one of the easiest jobs I ever had to do, because people act like they don't want to vote, or people act like they don't want to count themselves in the census, and then when they do, they'll wait to the last minute. So the whole year, you know, I'm just sitting at a job, literally talking to my coworkers for 7 hours straight. Literally, no one is doing work. And that's why I say last year was one of the best years I ever had, because I literally had to do nothing and get paid. I wonder, it would have been a totally different thing if I was at another job getting paid $10 an hour while this corona thing was affecting everyone. But I got in at the perfect time at a government job that was paying $24 an hour. Imagine what overtime is. And it was a beautiful thing, barely even having to work. Out of the whole 7 months, I probably had to work 2 months. Really, to be honest with you. Because people are not calling in, taking part. And then they will wait to the last minute, and that's when you will receive the influx of millions of people calling. But at that point, it's like, I'm already out the door, or I'm already on the break, because COVID had started taking hold in March. So instead of having a building of 1,000 people, they would split the month in half. We would have Group A, 500 people, trying to practice social distances and everything, would work for 2 weeks, and they would get 2 weeks off. Then the second group would come in, work for 2 weeks, and then get their weeks off. So that's what was happening all year last year, and I literally didn't really have to work at all, bro. Like, bro. But good times, man. Good times. I was able to occur a lot of financial leeway. And yeah, it was just